Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? Oh my gosh, I finally get to relax a little bit. Let me pull you guys in a little bit closer. I finally get to relax a little bit. I feel like the last 24 hours of my life have been so busy. So busy, but so good. So yesterday I vlogged and I talked about how I had my hair appointment in the morning, and then I came home from my hair appointment and I filmed a bunch of videos. And then got ready and went to my marriage counseling session last night. Tanya had to work late, so we didn't go to the meeting. And so marriage counseling was good last night, and came home, and sometimes we go out to dinner after marriage counseling, but last night neither one of us was really that hungry. And so we came home, and I had been like thinking about going to the casino like all day long, and I was trying to figure out like what was the best day to go and whatever. And I thought, you know, I've taken all of these like Uber rides today. Maybe today should be the day, but I was like, if I'm gonna go, I want to go early. I know that like this doesn't make a lot of sense to people. So here's the thing: I've gotten so many people that have asked me questions about like, why don't you just schedule? And this actually came up in a comment, and I know that there were some comments on my video that people wanted me to respond to some things in my video. Oh, it actually just got done. I was like uploading my drama video, but it just got done. So let's do a time and temperature check really quick. First of all, it is currently, let me turn the phone off, turn it back on. It is currently, hold on a second, 6:18 p.m. and the temperature it was actually supposed to be rainy today, and it was really beautiful all day today. Nikki is texting me like crazy about Big Brother. Big Brother starts, and my dad texting me something about destination. He's like laughing about this destination wedding thing. She's texting me about Big Brother because she has to work, and Big Brother comes on in 2 hours, and she's like, I can't wait to watch it, and all this kind of stuff. So I'm not going to watch it till after probably midnight anyway, so I'll watch it on Hulu or wherever they post it then. I mean, I'm recording it too. So, but anyway, oh, the temperature. Let's see what the temperature is like. It is 83 and partly cloudy. Today actually would have been a good day to go to the pool. Caroline didn't bring her swimsuit. And I said, Caroline, we talked about this last week, because today was Cousin Fun Day. And I said, you were coming to pick me up at 1. We didn't have a lot to do. And I said, and she goes, well, I didn't bring my suit. I totally forgot. She's like, okay, next week, if it's nice, we looked, it's supposed to rain, but it'll probably change before then. The weather forecast is never right in Indiana. And so I said, so anyway, we had to kind of like find stuff to do today, which was, I mean, today I don't necessarily want to go and do this like hunt for our grandma on like nice summer days, but we just kind of ran around today. But anyway, so last night we got back from marriage counseling, and I was like, okay, I think I'm going to go to the casino. So, and I said something to Alex, and Alex is like, yeah, I think it would be good for you. You'd have fun, go do it, whatever, right? I don't know why this like Uber situation is so confused. I'm kind of confused as to why it's like such kind of like a hot topic, or people are confused about it. So I'm going to try to have this conversation as if I was having it with anybody else, but honestly, I've had this conversation with other people, and either people really get it or they don't get it. It's like if you Uber a lot, then you kind of get it. The thing is, like, if you schedule an Uber, like, it can be just as difficult to schedule an Uber for a certain time as it is to call an Uber at that time. So, like, if you can schedule an Uber for 3 o'clock in the morning, but that doesn't mean anybody's going to take the ride. The place that the casino it's out in the middle of the country. Okay, it's in Anderson, Indiana. It's like 35 minutes from here. I think it's exactly 35 minutes from here. It's not like, most of the Ubers in Indianapolis are around Indianapolis. It's even like hard to get Ubers sometimes, like in the suburbs. From like other people's houses, it's hard to get Ubers. Where I live, because we're like in the heart of Indianapolis, it's easy to get Ubers here. But sometimes, like, you know, in the suburbs of Indianapolis, it's hard to get Ubers. And we're not like we are a major metropolitan city, but it's not like huge, you know what I mean? So to go like 3 o'clock in the morning to Anderson, Indiana, it's not like it's getting heavy traffic there, you know, and I don't go on the weekends. Maybe on the weekends it'd be easier, but like on a Wednesday or a Thursday or a Tuesday night, no, it's probably not easier there. As far as like me saying that I don't, like, if I hit a bonus, I might want to stay and whatever, there was a comment about that, and I know people want me to address these comments, so I'll address the comments in just a second, but I was waiting for the video to upload so I could do that. So anyway, I went to the casino last night. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to go up there for a little bit. Because I thought if I got an Uber, if I tried to get an Uber anywhere between like 11:30 and like 1:30, I probably could still get one. I thought anytime after that, it would probably be really, really hard to come back. And so I went to the casino last night. I had a lot of fun, but I feel like the last 2 times I've gone, I've gotten rather bored rather quickly. I mean, part of the fun was like going with Valerie and getting an iced tea on the way and talking. It was just like really like a social outlet for Valerie and I. It was really fun. When I go, I don't see anybody that works there anymore that I know. I think they've all like gone on to other things, and so I don't see anybody that works there. I mean, I didn't even last night, and maybe it was because I was there earlier and I usually go really late. I didn't really even see anybody that, like, I stayed in the same machines that I usually do, which is like around the lightning strikes. Interestingly enough, I didn't play lightning. I played the same 2 machines the entire night last night. So I got there at, I think it was like close to 9. I got there, and maybe like 8:45, and I got my Uber. I called it at, I think it was like 20 till 1, and it was like 7 minutes away. I could not believe it. I was like, for sure. I like even saved like some money, because I was like, if I have to sit here at the front and play until like an Uber or a Lyft comes, like I'm probably going to be here for like an hour waiting for an Uber. I could not believe it. Like I was like walking up to the front, and I was just going to sit down in a machine and like have like Uber and Lyft both going to try to pick a ride, and like I still had like cash to play up front and stuff, and so I was like walking up front, and I like put in like, I think it was Lyft, I don't remember Uber or Lyft, but anyway, I put it in, and it was like 7 minutes away. I could not believe it. I was literally like, I walked out, and I was like, and he was like 3 minutes away. So anyway, so it was great. I had a good time last night. I talked a little bit to this woman that I was sitting next to. It was really fun. I played these new machines. So they had a lot of new machines. Because when I used to go, you know, back in the day, like I knew all the machines. But now it's like, I mean, I hadn't been there since, I keep on wanting to say March, but I feel like it was April. I don't really remember. But it's been a couple of months since I've been there. And so they had a lot of new machines. It was this machine that was like, it reminded me of the Disney movie The Aristocrats. It was called Something Cat. And, like the what do you call it, like the, you know, like the cherries and stuff like that, and it had like collars for a cat, it had like a cat paw, and then like you had these bonuses. It filled up these buckets, and like you could get like free spins, or you could get, anyway, it was fun. I played for like 3 or 4 hours, but I was done. Like I was texting Alex like while I was sitting there playing, asking what he was doing. He was just watching TV with Boo, and I was like, I miss you guys. I don't know, you know, it's interesting because like I had a good time, and I think one thing I realized was that the next time like I have this like urge to go, like it's just easy to go up there for 2 or 3 hours, like when it's like earlier, and get an Uber home. So I'm not like worried about that anymore. I didn't feel, it was the first time that I've gone somewhere like by myself and done something like that where I didn't feel like real weird. I think the last time I went, it was late at night. I mean, I still went earlier than I usually go last time, but I was there later at night, and so it's pretty dead in the casino late at night. Last night was pretty, like there was a lot of people. I don't know, there were people that were talking to me like when they would sit down. It was like I was in this kiosk thing. There was like 6 machines around this thing, and so this one woman I was talking to, I mean, we were just talking about the game, and she was like, oh, I can't get a bonus, and you know, stuff like that you talked about at the casino. But, I mean, it was fun. I got home, and I took Boo Radley out, and when I was walking outside, I was, like, doing my prayers and stuff, and then I finished them after I took him inside. But anyway, I was kind of, like, thinking to myself, I was like, you know, it's good for me to go, because when I go, like, I realize how much I love just being here. And it's kind of the same thing, like, when I go with Caroline, like, I look forward to going with Caroline and running around. But then there's a part usually in the day when I'm just kind of like ready to be home and just like be here filming videos and sit down and all this kind of stuff. So being away from home is good for me, because it's always interesting to me when people say like it would be good for you to get out. So like I don't really know what that means. Like, is it bad for me to stay home? Like I don't know what that, like if it's good for me to get out, then it means it's bad for me just to be here all the time. I don't know what that statement means when people say that. But when I do go out, it makes me more appreciative of just like being here, you know, and being with Alex and Boo at night and stuff like that, and just, I don't know, the safety of our home and all that kind of stuff. So I had a good time. It was fun. So I came home and I watched, I mean, I got home early enough that it was like, for me, regular like TV watching time. Alex wasn't even asleep yet when I got home, because he had watched Love Island, and then he said that, what did he text me? He said something about TikToks with Love Island. Let's see our TikToks. Oh, I got a major last night. I texted Alex this. $688 I got. So that was good. I texted him that. I said, I got the major. I should have texted Valerie. Alex could care less. And he goes, yay. And, oh no, he said to me, he said, wait, you won $16,000? And I said, no, LOL, 600. And he goes, oh, haha. And then I texted him, I was like, coming home. Oh, that was in the Uber. I got in the Uber. So that was $12.54. And I said, coming home, got an Uber right away. He said, that's great. And I said, ready to be home with you and Boo. He said, we're ready to have you home. Did you have fun? I said, yeah. Got out of the system. But now I just know to go earlier. And I told him what time my drop-off was. He said, see you soon. And he said, I'm trying to fall asleep, but I just keep on looking up Love Island videos on TikTok. And he like put like this emoji on there. And then he texted me today. He was like, having fun with Caroline today? Tell her I said hi. I said, okay, we'll do. And he texted me, we'll do. Heading home. So anyway, so yeah, it was fun. So I watched when I got home. I mean, there's really nothing like that much to tell about the casino. It's interesting, I will say this, that every time I talk about the casino, we're going to talk about comments today a little bit on video, on this video over here, or these videos over here. It's so weird because I filmed that vlog inside last night, and it really very much, like the vlogs always feel this way, but last night for some reason, especially just talking about like finances and stuff like that, very much felt to me like having just a conversation with Tanya or somebody like that. It just felt very much like that. I don't know why. And I got done with the vlog, and for some reason, I had a weird feeling. I was like, I'm going to get some kind of off-the-wall comments on this. I don't know why. I just was like, you know. But it is what it is. But I just want to say this because I feel like there's this kind of like this rhetoric out there that like people can leave any comment they want on a video, but I don't have a right to respond to it. And if I respond to it, then I'm going off on my followers, okay? Which I don't have followers. I'm not a cult. They're just people that watch my videos. I appreciate you guys watching my videos, but you know, here's the thing. If you leave a comment on my video, I have every right to respond to it. And I'm not going to respond to it on the comment. I very rarely do that. I'm going to respond to it in a video. So if you're going to leave a comment in a video, and this is the thing, if I get in a video and I say something like, yeah, this comment was rude, that somebody left me, or something like that's like, did Peter just say that? When there are full influencers, Jeffree Star used to do this back in the day. I think Shane Dawson's done it. All these people have done videos reading like mean comments or rude comments or whatever, right? And like people thought those were funny back in the day. But God forbid I get in a vlog and I say something about a comment that I got, and then people like are like, oh my God, like no. If you leave a comment on any of my videos, I have absolutely 100% right to respond to that comment. If you don't, and I think I just said this like a couple days ago in a video. And if you don't want your comment responded to, or you don't want to get, like, you know, hear me reading your, don't leave a comment on the video. I don't know what to tell you, okay? And the only reason I'm saying that, and I'm going to do this today about 2 comments that I got, but in the future, I'm not going to continue to do this. But this was actually, so anyway, we'll get into that in just a second. But I actually got a couple comments. I didn't even read any of the comments, because I got home late last night, like I said, and then I watched Below Deck Mediterranean, and then I watched an episode and a half of Glitch. I'm on the last episode. I'm on episode 6 of season 2, and then I've got season 3 to watch tonight. Well, I've got Big Brother to watch tonight. I'm so excited, Big Brother's starting. So I've got the last episode of season 2, and then season 3 of Glitch to watch, and then I'll be done with that. Then I don't know what I'm going to watch. Maybe Ozark? I'm not really sure yet. Something like thriller or dark, something like that. Although somebody just told me, oh, Mel texted me this TikTok about like the best true crime documentary that just came out. I'd never heard of it before. Something on Max, I think, that she saw. So she sent me that. So I might watch that. But I got so tired. I hadn't taken a nap yesterday. I hadn't really eaten a whole lot. So I was so tired after going to the casino and stuff. So I went to bed really early last night. I went to bed at like, I don't know what time it was, but it was early for me. I think it was before 3. And did I just watch like I think I just maybe ended up watching just an episode of Glitch. I watched Below Deck and then I watched Glitch. So yeah, it would have been about 3. Because Caroline came today to pick me up at 1, and I had been up for quite a while. And I was tired. I was so tired when I got up. This is so weird about this medicine. But it's not just, in all honesty, I don't know what's going on. It's not just when I take the medicine. I did not sleep like this when I was on vacation, and when I was on vacation, I only half the time took my multivitamin. I'm almost kind of wondering if it's not from the multivitamin, if you want to know the truth, and not the sleep medication, because it's weird, and it's not when because there are nights that I don't take the medication, but it's also when I nap, and I never take the medication. I don't take the doxepin when I nap, but I sleep so deep, you guys, like super, super, super deep. And then I wake up, and I'm just kind of like, where am I? Like, every time that I wake up, I'm like that. And, like, this is, like, the last couple weeks. I've been, like, it still takes me a while to fall asleep. But when I wake up, I'm just like, oh, my God. I woke up today, and I was just like, did I oversleep? What time was it? And I had, like, enough time, you know? So, and I did take the doxepin last night, but I hadn't taken it the 2 nights previous because I was, like, afraid that, like, if I didn't get enough, you know, like, if it was only 5-6 hours of sleep, I wouldn't have enough sleep. So, I don't know what it is, but I've been, like, sleeping super, super deep. And I'm usually a pretty light sleeper, which is weird. You know, like when Boo moves, I wake up and none of that. Like, I don't even remember Alex leaving, stuff like that. So, anyway. So, I got up today, did some stuff around the house, had some coffee, got ready. Your hair's so pretty. Caroline picked me up at 1. It was actually like 1:04. I was going to give her a hard time. I was going to razz her a little bit and give her a hard time about it because she's always like right on time. I mean, literally, if it says, like, she says ETA, like, 1:01, she'll pull in at 1:01. It's because she has it, like, on her GPS. We go places that Caroline even knows exactly how to get there, and she puts it in her GPS. Is anybody else like that? She's the only person that I know that's like that. She's like, yeah, but it'll show you, like traffic and stuff like that. I'm like, okay. So she's like, where do you need to go? And I was like, I don't really need to go anywhere today. I said I want to go to the post office, and I want to go, and I need to get some, like, coffee and some stuff like that. So she was like, you don't really have anywhere to go? I was like, no, do you need to go to Costco? She was like, well, I could. She was like, I have to get, like, some wine for a birthday present that I'm giving. And she was like, but we can do that, like, at Target if you want to get coffee at Target or Fresh Time or something like that. And I was like, okay. I was like, let's go to Target. We can walk around and see what they have. So we got coffee, and then we went to the post office. It was so weird in my post office box. So the person that had my post office box before me, it was like a company, and they get a lot of mail, but they haven't in quite some time. But they used to get a lot of mail because I would just, like, give it to the post office people. So I got this, like, certified letter, or I got this thing that was like, I had to sign for a certified letter, and I was like, what is this? Like, certified, I mean, honest to God, I was like, did I finally, in my 8 years, I should knock on wood, but in my 8 years of doing drama, I've never gotten a cease and desist. I mean, all these people are always talking about cease and desist and lawyer. None of that. I've never had that. People all the time are like, you better watch out. They're going to sue you for my opinion on a public figure. That has never happened to me. Never once have I ever received a cease and desist. Most of these people I talk about still follow me on all social media. Go look. They all follow me. They all do. Anybody that I've talked about, most of them follow me. There's like a select few that don't, you know, or... Like, I think, like, Jaclyn Hill's, like, the only person that's really blocked me. Like, I don't even think she's blocked me on Twitter. Well, she's not on Twitter anymore, but on Instagram, Jeffree Star blocked me, but then he unblocked me. But I think he blocked me on TikTok or something, but I can still go in and see all that kind of stuff. I think they're the only two. Like, everybody else, like, some of these people that I talk about, like, openly follow me. It's so weird. Like, I'll look at their account. I'm like, oh my God, they still follow me. Like, you know, it's, like, been 3 years since I've unfollowed them. So, I mean, it's whatever, but... So anyway, what was I saying about that? How did I get to that? Oh, my neighbor's singing. She texted me today that she's going to go to the pool. What'd she say? I'm going to text her and be like, could she stop singing? She said, I'm off Friday, so I'm going to spend the majority of the day at the pool. Watch, I'm going to text her. Could you quiet down? You're singing. I'm going to put the little nail painting emoji next to it so she knows I'm talking to her. Could you quiet your singing? Oh my God, one of my neighbors was walking by. So I filmed a review video yesterday. I was like pulling all my stuff in. And she was walking by. She walks down the street a lot. She hardly ever checks her phone, my neighbor. And so anyway, and I was like getting all my stuff. She's like, are you getting ready to film? And I said, no. I said, I just filmed like a review video in a haul and stuff. I'm getting ready to take it in. She goes, I love to hear you when I'm walking in front of your house. She was like, I love hearing you talk about stuff. She's like, it makes me so happy. I was like, oh, thank you so much. So anyway, what was I talking about? Social media. I don't even remember what I was talking about. Caroline and I. Oh, the social media people. Like I thought it was like, I was like, did I finally get a cease and desist or something like that? And so, it was like this letter, and it said this was delivered, but it couldn't deliver it to your P.O. box. You had to sign for it. So I went up to the woman. I was like, this other woman was like helping me. She didn't even work there, but she was like, I showed it to her because we were waiting in line, and she was real nice. She was talking about how she had just traveled to like Korea, Germany, France, all these different places. She was really friendly. So anyway, she was getting something done with her passport. And so she was like, oh yeah, like, that's happened to me before, whatever. So she has to sign for it. Like they have it back there. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, it's not like a box. It was like it said certified letter on there. And so I went up there, and so she like went and got the letter, and we were like looking at it and stuff. And I looked at the letter, and it was like a very legal letter. And I looked at it, and I was like, and it said the P.O. box underneath it. And I was like, that's not my P.O. box. And I was like, and that's not my name. And I showed it to her, and she goes, is that not your letter? She's like, I just realized it too. And I go, no, this isn't for me. And she was like, oh, she was like, this is I said, this is the person that had my P.O. box before me. She's like, this has happened to you before too, right? And I go, with packages, I go, but it's never happened to me before with like a certified letter. So anyway, we both got laughing, because I had said, when she went to go get the letter, I said, oh my God, it's either like going to be really a good day or really a bad day. And she goes, what do you mean? I know all the women that work in the post office, and I love them. And she was like, oh, this woman was, oh my God, she was so mad that was next to me. She still hasn't looked at my text yet. She needs to get on that text about my singing stuff. So anyway, I hear her outside. Maybe she's leaving somewhere. So anyway, I said, this is either going to be a really good day or it's going to be a really bad day. And she goes, what do you mean? And I said, well, it's either a cease and desist or I got $1 million check in the mail. And she goes, are you getting $1 million check from us? I said, no, I have no idea who I would get $1 million check from. And she goes, well, you better spread the wealth. And I said, if I get $1 million check, I said, I'm going to cash it. I'm going to bring it in here. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit to you, a little bit to you. They got laughing so hard. We were having so much fun. So anyway, so the letter wasn't even for me. I had nothing at the P.O. box today except for that certified letter that wasn't for me. It was rather depressing, honestly. But anyway, so yeah, so after that, Caroline was like, because Alex had asked me to get him some Cokes, and I didn't really want to get him from Costco, and if we went to Costco, I had nothing to get at Costco, and I really didn't want to walk by the churro donuts, because I knew that I would want to get them, but I would force myself not to. Can I just talk about, I have been so good, okay? You want to talk about successes? I have been so good with my weight loss journey of going to Costco and not getting the dips, okay? I walk by those damn dips. There's new dips now, okay? There's like a Havarti and Gouda dip. I was like, it was like this apple and Havarti dip. I was like, that sounds so good. Like it was some Havarti and something. I was like, is she leaving? Oh, she is. Oh, there she is.
My singing is beautiful and should be cherished.
Can you sing a little bit for us right now? You're shaking your head. What were you singing? You were just doing... Amy Winehouse, you were just doing some scales or something.
What?
You were just doing some scales.
That's Christina Aguilera. She's great.
Your singing is beautiful. I love your singing. You know, I can hardly hear you. You know that.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just like...
Can you tell them, like, because people think that you can hear me in your house. Can you hear me when I'm out here filming at night?
I can hear you, like, I can hear... You know, like, when a cell phone's, like, 3 rooms away?
I can hear her talking on her phone as she's walking down the street right now.
No. Like, if I'm in my, like...
Garage.
I can hear you slightly through the vent. Okay.
Slightly through the vent. Inside the house, but not when I'm out here. Is she in the back seat?
Yeah.
Are you going to dog training?
No, we're going to my parents for dinner.
Oh. Hey, I talked about in my drama video today about how you and your friend, I can't say her name on camera, but we're going to do the video.
Yeah.
Because I was asking you guys if you knew, like, all those people, and then the only person you knew was Trisha Paytas.
Yeah.
She's the only person she knew. Who did I ask you about? Shane Dawson? You said no, I don't know who that is.
I thought you meant Dawson's Creek.
Dawson. She said I thought you meant Dawson's Creek. What are you guys having for dinner?
I requested steak, mashed potatoes, and broccoli.
Is this your birthday dinner?
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be fun. And then Friday you're going to go to the pool?
Yeah.
Okay. What about tomorrow?
I could go for a little bit, yeah.
They're going tomorrow, I can't say names on camera,
Okay.
after 3.
I think I could do that.
So if I get stuff done after 3, we should all go up there and meet at the pool. But Friday, definitely.
Okay.
And Alex will go on Friday, too, if it's nice.
Yay.
Yay! All right, have fun, sweetie.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, the viewers.
she said bye to the viewers. I love my neighbor so much. I just tell you, I have so much fun. Like, I was filming a review video, and my neighbor in the corner that I go to the pool with, her and her friend, or I used to a lot, they were coming out, and I was like, did you all go to the pool today? Can you hear this woman talking? She's literally like this on her phone, which she's got her AirPods in, talking like this so loud. Oh, no, this is a different one. People think I'm loud. Nonetheless, it doesn't matter. She's talking like this loud, talking on her phone as she walks down the street. But she's got she doesn't have the AirPods. She had the headphones on. My cousin is like, now she doesn't want AirPods anymore, because I was going to get her some AirPods for her birthday. She doesn't want AirPods anymore. She wants, I'm like in my head telling stories 5 times ahead, okay? She doesn't want AirPods anymore. She wants the regular ones. I said, girl, I've got like 5 of those in there, because every time we've gotten a new device, they come for free. She goes, no, they don't. I go, yeah, Caroline, they do. You get like a little pack of the earphones every time. I said, I'll just give you like 2 of them. She's like, they're like $45 at the Apple store. I go, I'll just give them to you, Caroline. She was like, well, I like them when I lay in bed. They don't fall out, because she listens to audiobooks and stuff when she falls asleep. Oh, by the way, that was what I did on the way up there last night. Neither one of the Uber riders really wanted to talk to me that much last night, which was totally fine with me. But they were both really, really nice. And both ways up there, I listened to the Lori Vallow book, which is it's the May book for a True Crime Book Club. I'm like over half the way through with it now. It's really good. I really wasn't that excited to read it, to be honest. I mean, I was when we picked it, but kind of. But I was like, I already have watched the documentary, but there's so much more than that. It reminds me a little bit of the Mandy Matney book, because the author, she's a journalist, and so she kind of tells a little bit of her personal story of like moving into her first apartment with her boyfriend, now husband, and how she got working on the case. But then she goes in and she talks about like Heaven's Gate and David Koresh, and she talks about like all of these like religious movements that ended like in mass massacres and things like that. It's really interesting, and she compares it to kind of how Lori Vallow. Apparently, Lori Vallow was like brought up FLDS. I didn't know that, or some part of that, or something like that. Her dad was all this kind of stuff. Then he went to prison for some like scams and cons and stuff like that. I don't remember that being part of the documentary. If it was, I don't remember that. But anyway, it starts off, the part 1 is called The End, and part 2 is called The Beginning. And part 1 is about them finding the bodies of her kids on their property. She and Chad Daybell, or Chad Daybell's property. And she's in jail at that point. And they talk about her being in Hawaii and all that kind of stuff. That's all the stuff that was in the documentary. But it's told really well. Like, that's the thing for me. I could like listen to 5 true crime books if they're all in the same thing, if they're told really well. Like, it's the telling of it to me. So I listened to that on the way up there last night, and I listened to a little bit of it this morning. So I'm like halfway through it. So I'll probably finish that tonight or tomorrow, and then start the next one, which is shorter actually, which is the John Douglas book, When a Killer Calls. I think that's what it's called. It's book 2. It's supposed to be really, really good and scary, so it's gonna be fun for my walks. I'm real excited about that. But so yeah, so we went to the post office, that whole mess with that, and then after we came back from the post office, we went to the post office. Oh, Caroline needed to get a dress for a bridal shower that she's going to. Her friend's daughter is getting married, so she's going to it. And so we were like talking about dresses, and there was this woman like walking down the street as we were like leaving, and she had like this cute dress that came to like below her knees, and it was kind of flouncy with like, you know, big arms, and it was like real bright. I said it was denim though. It was like bright denim, and I was like that, but like something like floral. She's like, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I said, see, girl, we're like thinking the same, right? So she wanted to go to Nordstrom Rack. Okay, Nordstrom Rack, when we used to go to it, I couldn't even walk in that store. I couldn't, like, there's too many things I wanted to buy clothes-wise and shoes-wise. It's junk now. I was so surprised. Caroline found a couple cute things, but it was literally like they took it out. So Nordstrom Rack is like an outlet store of Nordstrom. And so it was literally like they just pulled this stuff out of the box and just hung it. I mean, it was so like, that place was crying for a steamer so bad. I mean, but Caroline found a couple cute things. But she found a sweater vest. She was like, they had these new things out that literally, they were the only ones that were not wrinkled to death. But I mean, you could, whatever. For the prices were pretty good. So she found a sweater vest, and she found this shirt, and they were both super cute. And they were like $20. And I was like, and she was like, but they're fall shirts. And I was like, Caroline, fall's right around the corner. You should get them. This is a good price. So she got like 3 shirts there. And then, but she didn't find a dress. They had no dresses. Their dresses were like evening gown kind of dresses. And so she was like, I'm not really into all this. And I was like, okay. So we went from, after that, we were going to Target, and we pulled into Target. Marshalls is right next to Target. She's like, oh, we're going to Marshalls because they'll have a dress. And so we walked in there. They had really cute dresses, actually. And she found a dress, and it was really cute. It came kind of like, I would say probably like 6 inches above the ankle, but it like buttons up, and then the collar's like this, but it like buttons, the camera stopped. And then it has like a tie around the waist, but it's like orange, red, and yellow floral print, like real small floral print. It's really cute, and the arms like sit like right here. It's really, she'll look really cute in it. So she got that. We were talking to the woman at Marshall's. It was so hot in there. I said, I feel so bad for you standing on your feet all day long working in this heat. She's like, it's really not that bad, honestly. She's like, the last place I worked, she was like, they wouldn't turn the air conditioning on at all, and she was like, I worked 14-hour days. And I said, where did you work before? And she said, Joanne Fabrics. I was like, you didn't like it? And I was like, oh, the one right up the street in Castleton? Where did she say? She said, no, the one in Kokomo. And then we got talking about when I worked in treatment, one of my contracts was, anyway, so we were talking about all that kind of stuff in Kokomo, the city of Kokomo, and Chrysler is the huge plant there. And I can get into a conversation with anybody, one-on-one. Put me in a group of people, I get nervous as hell, but one-on-one, I'm real good. She was so nice, this woman there. She's like, she's like, the door opens and closes, so we get kind of a breeze in here. It was so hot in that Marshalls. I felt so bad for those like 4 women, and it was like one after another person coming up there. She's like, no, I like it when it's busy. She was like, time goes faster. So, but she was really, really sweet. So then after that, we went to Target. And what did I get at Target? I was just looking at the camera like, is it going to stop? I totally forgot that it had just stopped. Got some stuff. Caroline wanted me, I found these Oreos, these churro. What is the deal with churros? I'm like so obsessed with churros. So I found these churro Oreos, and Caroline's like, get those Oreos, get these Oreos. She's like, do a whole Oreo review. And I was like, Caroline, I don't want these Oreos sitting around my house. I'm on this weight loss journey. And she's like, give them to me. And I was like, okay. She's like, yeah, just do the review and then bag them up. So I'll probably do them closer to when we meet next week, and I'll just give them all to her. Because I don't want that stuff sitting around the house. And they're not Oreos that Alex would eat. He only eats the golden Oreos. It's like the only ones he'll eat that he likes, but he keeps those on stock all the time. So anyway, we went there. I bought some at Tabitha Brown stuff. I bought 2 salads, and I reviewed one of them today on my review channel. I was actually kind of surprised by it, honestly. But I'll just say that. And then what else did I buy? Oh, at Nordstrom Rack, I bought 3 candles. I think they're the Capri Blue brand, but I'm not sure. They look like them, but I don't know if they're the same brand. But if they're not, they're like a similar brand. But they were like 16 something, $16.99, $16.59, marked down, maybe some 57, I don't know. Marked down to like 12 something. So they were like half off and then like $4 off that. I was like, this is a good deal. And I got 3 of those candles, and they smell so good. But I just lit new candles. So when those candles are, I'll light them. Those would be like my late July, August candles. What else did I get at Target? I showed it all. I did a haul on my Peter Does Stuff channel. Yeah, and then after Target, where did we go? We came home because she was trying to get a nail appointment. Yeah, she spent like 20 minutes at Target trying to get a nail appointment. So, it was so funny. When we were standing in line at Marshall's, this woman is standing in front of us, and Caroline kept on looking at her, and so finally the woman looked at her and smiled, and because Caroline's like, I hope this dress looks cute, and the woman was like, that dress will look adorable, and you look great, and Caroline looked at her, and she goes, you look so familiar to me, and she asked her what her name was. Caroline's like, how do I know that name? And she's like, what's your name? And so Caroline said her name, and she was like, no, and then they were talking about, she was like, well, I'm a realtor, and she was like, oh, I was a realtor, and she was like, so they had like worked close to each other and whatever, and so she's like, well, are there other, this woman was like, are there other people that you would know and whatever? And my aunt was a realtor for 35 years. I always lead with my aunt's name. Like when I meet people that look familiar to me that are older, I don't ever say like my dad or my mom. I always say my aunt, because my aunt knew everybody in town. She was president of Junior League. She knew everybody. And so finally, so I said to this woman, I said, my aunt's name was Kathy. And she goes, oh, your mom was Kathy. We all loved Kathy. I said, Caroline, you need to lead with your mom, because everybody knows your mom. She was like, everybody did know my mom. And she's like, oh my God, we all loved Kathy so much. She was like, I so missed her. I'm so sad when she passed away. So anyway, she was really nice. So yeah. So, was that it? And then we came home, and then I unloaded the stuff, took Boo Radley out, talked to my neighbor across the street, the husband. He was like, I haven't seen Boo Radley in a while. I was like, you just saw him like 2 days ago. He was like, I know. And so Boo Radley got to see him and talk to him, and yeah, it's been a good day. I wanted to go to the pool when I got home, but there was like, when we drove by, there was like a whole family up there. And I was like, I don't even want to go up there and deal with it and complain about it or anything. So Alex is upstairs. He said, I think that Love Island on tonight. His entire life is by Love. I think it ends this week. I said, you should start watching Big Brother with me because it's very similar. He goes, it's romance. I go, well, there's sometimes. He goes, but it's not like a dating show. He goes, I'm not interested. I go, what? It doesn't even make any sense. He goes, I have too many shows to start watching Big Brother. I was like, well, we would have fun watching it together. He goes, you already have like 2 or 3 friends. He goes, Tanya watches it, Nikki watches it, Mel watches it, Caroline watches it. He's like, you have enough people to watch it. I go, okay. He goes, we already have so many shows we watch. We do have so many shows. We actually have to watch Dubai tonight because Tanya texted me last night and she's like, have you watched Dubai yet? And I said, I came to the casino. I said, since we didn't go to the meeting. And she was like, oh my God, I'm so proud of you. So funny to me. She's like, did you take an Uber? I'm going to say, no, I walked. What do you think? And I was like, yeah, I took an Uber. And she was like, how was it? And I was like, it was Tanya is so protective of me with the Uber thing. She gets it. Tanya gets the Uber thing. And so she was like, are you having fun? Hope you win a lot and stuff like that. I did okay. I mean, I left. It was like kind of even when I left. It was fun. I just kind of like, it was funny because I was sitting there and I was about to put some money in the machine. I looked down at my phone. I was like, no, I think it's time to go. Like, I had a good time. Like, if I can get an Uber, then I'll realize that like I can come here earlier and whatever. Actually, I was talking to Valerie and Valerie was like, we might have to go. If you want to go, we can go, but maybe it might be during the middle of the day and you would just take a day off from filming. And I was like, yeah, that'd be totally fun. I would love to do that with you. So that might be sometime in the near future, but I got it out of my system. I'm good to go. So tonight is, was that my stomach or did I just hear somebody talking? That is the weirdest thing. I know I will get 3 comments about that statement alone. Don't tell me you've never thought that before where your stomach has growled and you're like, is somebody in the room with me? Because that has happened. Okay. So I got a couple DMs from people that were like, said something about comments on my vlog. And they were like, I'm so sorry about the comments about your sobriety on your vlog. And I was like, I haven't even read the comments from my vlog yet. So I was like, what are they talking about? So I was like, okay, let me go in here and look. So I'm going to read some of the comments in here, okay? It's interesting, too, because somebody said this to me on a vlog. I did address this, because this is what the person responded, and I thought, this is exactly right. They said, people don't have an issue when you respond. People say, I don't ever read comments. I literally do videos where, I mean, somebody just said that to me in a video yesterday. They said, you don't respond to comments, you don't even read comments. I don't know if you'll see this. I literally do videos where I respond to comments. I don't know why you wouldn't think that I would see it. I read every comment I just said that the other day. I read every comment on every video. It's so interesting to me because people will always say, like, I watch every video, and I'll literally go 10 minutes into talking about Sister Wives. And this is just a joke example, right? But I'll go into 10 minutes of talking about Sister Wives to the point where I'll get comments that people will say, you should just talk about this on your TV channel. And granted, I 100% agree with you. I should be saving that for my TV channel, right? But I'll talk about Sister Wives. And then, like, 2 days later, somebody will leave a comment and they'll say, you really should watch Sister Wives. And somebody will respond to it and say, Pierce talked the last 2 weeks about watching Sister Wives. You must be new to his channel. I've watched his channel for 20 years. Like, my channel's not even been around for 20 years, right? And I'm like, well, if you watch my channel that much, then you would know these things. It's interesting when people ask me questions that say that they religiously watch this channel, but then they ask me questions about things that I talk about religiously on this channel. Not just one time, but, like, religiously. Anyway, so I got a couple comments or a couple DMs from people that were, like, apologizing for what somebody said about my recovery. So when I went and read the comment, I was like, it wasn't just one comment that this person left. It was like more than one comment. And I was like, it's not just honestly the questions that you're asking, because I think that's fair. I put myself out there. You can ask any questions you want. It's kind of I don't know. Like, I feel like this is the way that I equate it, okay? When my husband and I first started dating, I wasn't a big texter. He was, right? So I would text him things like I had taken him to work, and it was like 20 minutes later, and I would say, oh, I miss you already, and he would text me back, K, and I would be like, K, you know, or the LOLs and all that kind of stuff. I get it today, right? But, like, back then, I didn't get it. I feel like a lot is lost in context, but when somebody is saying, like, I'm editing this as I go, I'm reading it back, like, then you're hearing your tone. So, I don't know. It's just, you know, it's whatever. But I feel like if I get in a video and I say, I feel like this comment was rude, that it's going to be like, oh, my God, Peter's coming for his following, my cult following, you know? As soon as I started calling them the granny pack, they changed it. It's like new word. Every time I say the word, they change the new. So it doesn't really matter, right? So anyway, standing ovation for your neighbor calling out individuals who are backing the pool rules. Amy said, "Hey, Amy." And this is the other thing too. It's like, if I say the person's name that left the message, it's like then I'm calling that person out. But if I read a nice comment and I call somebody's name out, like that's okay, right? And somebody said it the other day. It's like did I just say this? They said if Peter reads a nice comment, that's cool, right? But if you address a nasty comment or a questioning comment, like then that's Peter being rude, right? You can't have it both ways. I mean, I guess you can, but I mean, I can do whatever I want to do. It's my video, right? Hello, Peter. Somebody said, oh, this is on the pool drama update. Alicia said, the amount of times I did a literal LOL in this vlog. Thanks, Peter. That needed that today. Somebody said, your friends get $100,000 in cash for gifts. I find that hard to believe considering the limit for gifting money without the receiver paying exorbitant gift tax is $17,000 a year. I don't know how much it is that they get. I can tell you that I do know one friend of mine that she for her father, and I don't know how they did it, okay? So I don't know if it was legal. I don't know how that worked. I don't know if they had a joint checking account. I don't know how that worked, okay? But for 2 years in a row, we gave her $100,000. I have other friends of mine that their parents give them $5,000 a year, $10,000 a year, okay? But I've had a couple friends of mine that have been like, yeah, my parents gave me $100,000. So I don't know how that worked. I don't know if they just wrote them a check and they paid tax on it. I don't know if they had joint checking accounts. I don't know how that worked, but I can tell you that, or if they were lying about it. Maybe they were lying about it, but I can tell you that I do know that. And if I wasn't on a vlog, I was talking to somebody in my life, I would tell you who that person was, because I can remember them telling me, and I was like, jaw hit the floor, like, seriously? And actually, I can remember the conversation, because with the woman whose father had given her $100,000 2 years in a row, his conversation to her was, so I don't know how they did it, that's what I'm saying, right? But what he said was, I would rather you enjoy the money while I'm alive than when I'm gone. I would rather see you enjoy the money now. And that's why he gave it to her. He's also bought her a house and other things, cars and other things, whatever. And she's an only child. So, you know, I don't know how that works. I have no clue, but whatever. It did, so... I don't know how he bought her a house. I don't know how he bought her a car. I don't know how they worked around those things. I'm just telling you right now that that's the case. And I know that that's to be true because she's an only child. She's never worked. She has no kids. She's never been married. And she's not in the mob. And she's, you know, I don't know. She's always traveling and doing this and doing that. And, yeah, so. Anyway, somebody said, Maleficent said, pool drama, story time, emotional for realies. Gulf Coast Girl said, oh my god, Steakums, I love those things. And my mom would never get them either. They were expensive if I remember them. Andrea said, they have the walking pads on sale for Amazon Prime Day, LOL. Is it over? I should take a look and see. Savannah said, financial stuff would never be taught in school because the government profits off of people being in debt and doing things wrong. I don't know about that. I mean, I just wish that they would teach it in school. I think that those are things that would be smart. Okay, this is more about the pool drama. Are you going to address Cody Co? I talked about that. First of all, and I know that this is somebody because this is Joanne and she's commented on my videos for years. Hey, Joanne, how are you? And maybe you did, but like you can leave that comment on my drama video and I'll see it over there as well. But I actually addressed it in my video that I did today. Danielle said, maybe go to the casino in the day. Is that a thing? I don't even know. It is a thing. I don't have a problem going during the day, but I film videos during the day. First of all, I don't have this need to go to the casino. I think me talking about it and being like, it's in my head, I'm thinking about it. You know, it's like my cousin and I talking today about, like, she's planning this possible trip next year because it's their 30th wedding anniversary about going to Alaska. And it's like, Caroline's like, oh, well, you know, she's talking about it through the whole day. I mean, it's like me talking about the casino and thinking about, like, oh, I'd like to go to the casino, but I don't want to do the Uber. It's the same thing as Caroline being like, I don't know if we want to do a cruise or if we would just want to go to Alaska. I mean, it's like, if I said to Caroline, you're obsessed with it, this is becoming an addiction for you, talking about going to Alaska, she'd be like, back the fuck off. No, it's not. Like, I'm just thinking about possibly going, you know? It's like I share it in a vlog and it's like, it becomes like a huge issue. Not to you, not to the person that said about the day. I'm just saying, to one person out there that took issue with it, to me going to the casino, that apparently I'm in the heat of, if you knew how many people that are in recovery and 12-step programs go to casinos, first of all, I mean, it would be laughable. If I brought this up in a meeting, people would literally laugh, okay? how many people that I know that are in like gambling leagues and things like that. It's so anyway, but I don't have a problem going during the day. I like going at night when everything's done. Plus it's dead at night. Like it's like day is kind of busy at the casino. At night it's like it's empty. There's not a lot of people there. I don't know. And I'm kind of like a night owl, you know? So anyway. You know, I said this to Caroline today. I was like, about these comments, because I was reading them when I was with her, right? And so she said, just don't even talk about going to the casino anymore. And I said, this is like how people in my life, like in my real life, they're like, this is how they talk about, like, when I bring up something to them, like, very rarely does it happen, but if I bring up something like, you know, whatever, and they're like, just don't talk about the casino anymore. I'm not gonna, I said this a couple years ago when people were contacting my brother and sister-in-law and telling them bullshit that I never said in a vlog. I was like, if you guys remember this, if you've been around for a while, I said, I'm not going to talk about anything personal in my life anymore. I'm just not. And then a lot of people were like, I'm so disappointed because that's what I love about it. And then Pee passed away. And there were a lot of people that, you know, were tons of people were extremely supportive, right? And there were like a few people, I would say 10 people out there that were very nasty and ugly with their DMs and their emails and stuff like that. And at that point was when, I think it might have been before that, I don't know, it was maybe when Pee was sick, but I feel like it was around that time, that Alex was like, say what you want to say in your videos, because the people that don't like you aren't going to like you. You're not going to change their mind. And the people that like you, they're going to like you anyway. So say what you want to say. I'm going to keep on sharing what I have to say on video. If I every single day, I want to say, I want to go to the casino. Oh my God, I'm fiending so bad to go to the casino. And people want to say, oh, I'm worried about you or this or that. I mean, say what you want to say, right? Like, if I address it, it's because I want to educate people. It's not because I feel like I need to defend myself. I just want to really make that clear. So, somebody said, thank you. Thank God for YouTube. That's how I learned all my financial literacy. I love that so much. Okay, so here's one of the comments. Oh wait, somebody said something about the fern. Somebody said, Peter, I saw the most beautiful, hugest fern I've ever seen yesterday, and there were like 6 of them in this man's house. I wanted to take a picture, but it was my first time meeting these people, and I didn't want to be weird. Okay, so there's this house down the street from us, okay, when you go out here and turn, it's like on our way out, when Caroline comes to pick me up. This house is probably, I mean, it's a small, tiny house. It's like half the size of our house. And our therapist last night, marriage counseling, he is so excited. He and his girlfriend are going on vacation next week, and they are renting a tiny house by the lake, and he is so excited about it. And he looked at Alex. I thought, I think something like that would be cute. My husband, and don't get me wrong, I love nice hotel rooms too, okay? I love a good resort. He looked at Alex, and because Alex was like, oh, where are you staying? Are you excited? And whatever. And he's like, yeah. He's like, we're renting, like we Airbnb'd. And he's hilarious too, right? He's like, we Airbnb'd this, like, you know, tiny house on the side of this lake and stuff like that. And Alex just like looked at him like, why would you ever want to do that? And then he like looked at Alex and he looked at me, and I go, I think it sounds like a lot of fun. He goes, I knew Alex wouldn't think it was anything fun about it. I go, oh no, you could never get him into it, like a tiny house. And Alex goes, I mean, it was so funny. Oh, but this house on the street, it's like half the size of our house. Our house is small. It's really small, right? But whoever lives there, they have the most gorgeous front porch. It's literally a concrete porch like this, but it has like, you know, like the, what do you call it? It's like the Roseanne thing at the house. It has the, what I'm looking for, the wall or whatever. And so above it, they have like 3 or 4 of these every summer, these humongous ferns, and they're gorgeous. They're so gorgeous. She's got a TV out there and everything. I would love to sit on that front porch. You should have taken a picture of it. I would have loved it. Okay. It was interesting because when I was talking about what people make a year, somebody said that $70,000 is more than enough, and that they might be overspending, which I was like, that's interesting, because maybe that is the case. And then here somebody said, me making $55,000 a year and it's not enough. It's rough out here. I think it depends on where you live, honestly, too. And you know, it was funny because when I was talking, well, it wasn't funny, but it was interesting when I was talking to this girl at the pool, this woman, I mean, she's 33, right? And when I was talking to her, she was like, it's not like she overspends and she overlives. She hardly ever travels. She drives just a real average car. She lives in a small house. She rents a house. She can't afford to buy a house. That was one of the things that she was talking about. She's like, I really want to buy a house. She's like, I can't afford to buy a house, you know? So, yeah. Sally said, my guess is 5:43 and 85 degrees. Haven't guessed it at Disney days. Were you right? I don't even know. Somebody, I Sell Houses said, you mentioned talking about money might be boring. No, I personally love it. In this day and time, especially with inflation being where it is, I think we all need Dave Ramsey. Or there's a lot of people like Dave Ramsey that are out there that have a lot to say. Tabor said, hey, Peter, I feel like you were talking about Dean Koontz recommendations a couple days ago. I was, absolutely, 100% I was. She said, was it a dream? Oh, she said, I just realized that this vlog is from 7 days ago. Oh, maybe I made the comment after that. Kayla said, I agree that they should be teaching about taxes and finances and things in school. Oh, here's another comment from that person. Here's another comment from that person. Here's another comment from that person. We'll get to all those comments in just a second. Here's a comment about One Direction, which I love, by the way. It says at the end, note to Peter, this is basically irrelevant to the video except like the first 30 seconds. You said it's been a long day. I loved this comment about One Direction, first of all, because it made no sense to me. And it was totally how I think, just so you know. Somebody said, Dawn said, retirement, Peter, put money back for retirement. We have a financial planner that we work with. It's a must. I'm living the nightmare right now. I've got worse. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. Oh, your husband passed away. I'm so sorry, sweetie. That is definitely one thing. I don't know. I feel like it's interesting because some of the comments that I got, I felt like were things that I said in my video yesterday, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Somebody said, random queen said, I grew up eating steakums. Oh my God, right underneath here, Elle said, oh my God, steakums. Such a childhood memory I forgot about. Brian asks, I don't really know how to answer this question if you want to know the truth. Okay, so Brian asked, hi, hey Peter. I thought this was an interesting question though, because I don't think he does YouTube, but he said, speaking of finances in YouTube, how do you manage a budget when CPM is always changing? So that's clicks per minute. And it's like how much you make on a YouTube video, right? You can predict how well your videos will perform, so you never know ahead of time how much you'll be paid by Google, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I don't go off, I think it's a fantastic question, and I'm trying to be as transparent as I can about money stuff and whatever without being like, this is what I make in a year. To be honest with you, I don't really think that's anybody's business, and I wouldn't ask that of somebody else, you know? And that's just how I was raised. But, I mean, maybe if like in the context of like somebody asked me, like I just want to kind of know what like somebody like doing what you do makes or whatever, like I wouldn't have a problem telling them that, but just not to throw out the number, right? But I usually go off of 2 months before that. So, okay, when I was talking in my video yesterday about saving, like I'm like crazy about saving. Like, I mean, we have savings accounts, retirement plans. I mean, we've been like this since, like, I think, like, year 2 that we were like this. And so we've been, like, crazy about this kind of stuff, about really, like, looking into it and all this kind of stuff, you know, and really making sure that we have retirement plans, like somebody said, and savings accounts. I mean, I have multiple savings accounts, right? So I have different accounts set up, and one of the accounts that I have is kind of like a reservoir, and then, like, I have a different account that, like, pay bills through and stuff like that. So from the reservoir, I always look at 2 months before that. So actually, I'm not ever taking like a payment from this month. I'm not relying on this month or the month before. I'm relying on 2 months. Does that make sense? So like, let's say if this month, like I made half of what I made last month, then I would be prepared for that 2 months ahead. That doesn't make sense as far as spending. So that was something that I started doing like 2-3 years ago. I also, when I started on YouTube, this is why the tax thing, I always talk about the tax thing with people, is that I started setting aside 38 to 40% of everything that I make every month aside in a different account for taxes, which taxes are usually never that high, but that's what I set aside. And like I said, I talk to people that don't set anything aside. I talk to YouTubers that are like, oh no, whatever I get taxed, I'll pay the next month with what I make. And I'm like, but you don't know that you're going to make that next month. I think very much like you do, Brian. Like, it's interesting to me. So I always go 2 months before. So like, the money that I allow myself to have for July is what is based on what I made in May. And actually the May money is from April, so the payment from April, so it's really from April. Does that make sense? So like, if this month, let's say, if I made half of what I made, then July, which will be paid in August, so August, September, so that would be like September, that would affect that, and I would look at that. So if you don't see any hauls in September, you'll know this was a real shitty month. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it is. But also, like, So I have different savings accounts. So like if I make less one month than what I made before, like I take that money and I like, you know, pad that for the next month. And, you know, with the spending, with like setting money aside for budget, entertainment, stuff like that. Like entertainment is one thing that like I don't really go out and go to movies or go to clubs and whatever, but that money hasn't changed over the years that I keep on putting into that to set aside for every month. So that money is money that's usually pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed through every month. And so, like, unless we go on vacation, like to Miami or something, and then usually if I go on vacation, I take like a cash surplus out of travel, like I money set aside for travel. So it's all like I have it all very, very planned and how we do things, and so does Alex, and we have all of our accounts and stuff like that. So that's how we do things. So it's very determined. Plus, I know that it probably looks like I spend more than I really do, if that makes sense. I don't know, like, I do a lot of hauls and stuff like that, but I also look for a lot of deals, you know, for Christmas and holidays and stuff like that. I get Amazon cards. People always are like, you know, Alex's family, my family always gives us, like, they know I like to shop on Amazon. They give us Amazon cards and stuff like that. So it's not like everything, you know, is, a lot of it is, but... And Bailey said, Vienna sausages gross me out. I just can't. I didn't even say Vienna sausages. I was talking about the stuff that my dad likes, but that's so funny. My dad did not eat Vienna sausages, but they are so gross. I mean, I'm a vegetarian, so I don't eat any of that stuff anymore, but they are so gross. Oh, this is where Tony said, 70 a year isn't bad. Chances are it's the excess spending that gets looked over. It's so interesting that you said that, because then somebody else said 55,000 is really hard. So you're talking about the difference of $15,000. When I think $70,000 is fantastic, you know, money, but I've seen so many people online. Maybe it is excess spending. I don't know. I don't really know, to be honest with you, you know? So, were there any other comments before I get into all this? Let's have a back patio vlog. I could do a back patio vlog. I would have to do it later when the sun's kind of set a little bit. Karen asked, I wonder if you weren't on YouTube, what do you think you would be doing instead? I have really, to be honest with you, it's so interesting that you asked that question, because I have no idea what I would be doing. I really don't. You know, I've always just kind of like, job-wise, gone where my life has led me. So I don't really know what I would do. I'm just going to pick something out. I think that I would probably do something... I mean, I'm not going to go back to vet school. I'm not going to do all that. I probably would in some degree, like, oh, these little kids are riding down the street. They have the cutest helmets on. They have little horns on them and stuff like that. I probably would work. I mean, obviously, I couldn't work for, like, a dog shelter that made no money. I would have to, like, raise money or something. But I don't know. I would do something, like, with dog rescues or animal rescues or vets or working for a vet or something like that. A humane vet. Something with animals, because I feel like that's where my heart is leading me right now. I mean, I would love to say I would write cozy mysteries and make money off of it. I don't know really what I would do. I mean, people ask me all the time, like, if YouTube closes down. If YouTube closes down now, I'll just take it over. I mean, I don't love TikTok, but I'll take it over to TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. I know a lot of people that make really good money on Facebook. I just don't want to go over to Facebook and do it. So, because it's just one more thing I have to add to the list. It's not that I'm opposed to it, but, I would, if I had to. If YouTube shut down, I'd just go wherever, you know. At this point, probably, if I was going to do it, I know the last time I said this, people freaked out. I would never do this unless there was no other place for me to post my vlogs, okay? And I would make it really affordable for everybody, like literally $1 a month, okay? And I probably would even have, like, a charity thing set up for people that said that they couldn't afford $1 a month, which $1 a month, right? But I would probably put it on Patreon or something like that, so that people could still watch my... And I would probably do my vlogs, and, I mean, I'm not going to do drama videos on Patreons. I would probably do it more like lifestyle vlogging kind of stuff. I would change up what I was doing a little bit. Like, I would probably do my reviews and, like... I don't know that I would do the drama anymore if YouTube was gone, if you want to know the truth. If I was going to do the drama, I'd probably take it to TikTok, is what I would do. Because I think there's several people over there doing it. But as far as, like, if I wasn't doing YouTube, what I would do today, I don't really know. I don't really think about it. I really don't ever think about stopping YouTube, ever. Like, for as long as I'm alive. So, I mean, this will probably be... I thought I would work in treatment for the rest of my life, and I just decided one day that I was like, I'm becoming too immune to this, is how I felt. There was a lot of reasons, but that was the big one. So I don't know. I mean, if some other opportunity came up and somebody was like, I really would like, hey, would you like to work on writing a TV show or something, like, yeah, I would definitely jump at that, you know? Or if somebody was like, I want you to do this project with me. I would love to do like a documentary project, with somebody that knew what they were doing, because like, I would love to do that on my own. Like Caroline and I have talked about doing this thing about my grandma, but we don't know anything about how to do that. So we're just going to like kind of be piecing it together. But I would love to do something like that with somebody that knew how to do it. I don't know, you know, just everything that I've done in my life has kind of been like where the road has led me a little bit. My sobriety work led to me working in treatment, getting my master's degree. You know, starting on BookTube, writing a book led me to YouTube. I never thought I would be here with 7 channels. You know, I do think, I was talking to Alex about this, you know, the other night. It's like, I don't plan being, I mean, I'm 52. I don't plan on being 60 years old and doing drama videos. I just don't. I don't think anybody would want to hear it, if you want to know the truth. At some point in the next few years, I think, like, at the beginning of this year, I was talking about, like, true crime and stuff like that. That just didn't, I like watching the true crime documentaries. I don't know that I want, I don't know that I would be any good at it. The more I looked into it, and the note-taking and the research that you have to do and things, the camera stopped, to do the true crime videos like people do that I watch, like, it takes a lot. It's a lot of research. I don't know that I would be that good at it, if you want to know the truth, unless it's a story that I'm really, really passionate about, like the Baumeister case, Fox Hollow Farms. I don't know. Like, Alex asked me, like, if I started, like, because he knows that I'm working a lot on books and stuff like that, if, like, that took off or something, right? I would never stop doing YouTube videos, but I think, like, my drama channel would probably turn into more of, like, a day in my life kind of thing, and I would still keep up the rest of it. And people would be like, I know that's very similar, it's your vlog. It wouldn't be, though. It'd be like me carrying a camera throughout my day of what I'm doing. I don't know. I don't know what I would do over there. Just, you know, maybe turn it into, interviewing people. I would love to do interviews. I would love to turn that channel into all interviews of people in recovery and people doing this and just normal people doing normal people stuff. I think that would be so interesting to interview people about just something that makes them unique about their life that they think is so normal that makes them so unique. Because to be honest with you, people ask all the time to, like, interview me about sobriety and whatever. And half the time it doesn't follow through, or I don't, you know, it isn't like the setting that I necessarily, anyway, so, like, they'll want to do, like, a panel or something, and I'm like, they'll want to, like, have me and then somebody, and I'm like, okay, this isn't, like, I don't know, I don't know how this is going to go, and I'm not representative of any program, but they'll see me on YouTube, and I'm like, no, I'm not comfortable with that as far as, like, traditions, you know, and things like that, so that's why I wouldn't do it. But I've been asked quite a bit, actually, to speak about recovery, like, podcasts. I get reached out to quite a bit. I actually got reached out to, I know when I say this, it's not even in the works yet, but somebody reached out to me, a major documentary maker, like they have, like, Oscar-winning documentaries, reached out to me to be part of a true crime documentary. That's all I'll say about that. I have a phone call with them. I don't know what, and it has nothing to do with me covering true crime. I'll just say that right now, like, because I'm not going to turn in my channel after doing all that, but I don't really know what I'll do with that drama channel at some point. I mean, maybe it'll just cease to exist, and I'll just continue my vlog and my other channels. You know, I don't know. I do know this, that when Boo is no longer here, I hope to God he lives to be 30, whatever next rescue dog I get, it will be, like, I will have an Instagram and stuff like that with that. I mean, and when people want to come out later and say, oh, that's so phony that you're doing, I'm going to tell you right now, I eat that shit up. That stuff makes me so happy and inspires me when I see rescue animals. Whatever dog or dogs I have in the future will have a dedicated Instagram page to them, and I will do that. That was something I would do. And I really do, like, in the next couple years, when I really get into doing more of, like, rescue stuff and working with that. So that's probably one of the, I don't really know, honestly, you know, I'll figure it out when it happens. Like, I don't know what I would do if I wasn't on YouTube right now, if you want to know the truth, but I think it's an interesting question. Shelly said, Peter, I heard you mention the Holgate family on here. I started watching their channel and I love them. I love the two dads and Kenzie. Thanks for mentioning them. I actually don't think it was on this channel that I mentioned them. I think it was on my drama channel, and somebody asked me something about who's somebody you watch that we would be surprised about. And I think, was it on this channel? Maybe I shouted them out on this channel, I don't know. But they are really nice. And their channel has actually, like, doubled in size in, like, the last year. And they're a gay couple. When I first started watching them, I was like, this is cheesy, I can't do this. That's total sincerity. And I was like, and he looks really familiar to me. And then I found out that he had been on that show, like, Paris Hilton's New Best Friend or whatever. They are such, and I think it's like it's like his husband's daughter from before, and then, like, he adopted her, like, she stays with them. They are such a sweet couple, and their videos are, like, house redos. They go on Disney cruises all the time. They're very wholesome. I love their channel. I think they are such good role models for the gay community. Now watch, they'll end up being really problematic, but I don't think they are. I really like those two guys. They seem really, really nice to me. And I think their videos are a really good example of LGBT families. I really do. And I'm glad that their channel is growing for them. I really like them. Yeah, the Holgate family. Go check them out. Holgate. And I can tell you the first video is probably a Disney cruise. I swear to God, those people, they probably spend all their money on Disney cruises. And I hope they are having the time of their life. They're just happy to me. I just love happy people. Nikki said, not Nikki, my friend, Nikki, girl, you are my friend, Nikki, somebody W on here. More often than not, people present like they have money, but all they really have is a lot of bad debt and stuff. Amen, honey. I found that out to be true by a lot of people. I'll tell you what, when I had a lot of debt, I never acted like I didn't have a lot of debt. Oh, Gabby said Tiburon is shark in Spanish. That is so interesting, because I asked my husband, and he just kind of acted like I was stupid for asking a question. So thank you for saying that. Okay, so somebody said, in response to me going to the casino, I don't want to leave until I'm ready to leave is exactly why a recovering addict shouldn't go to the casino. Leaving after a big win is actually what you should do so you don't lose all your profits. Well, I don't go for a profit. I go like a video game. I go just to sit there and have a couple Diet Cokes and just be mindless and escape. And I've explained that in enough videos. So somebody responded and said, wow, a recovering alcoholic shouldn't go to the casino, and if he wins, he has to stop playing. You just took the fun out of getting out of the house, meeting people and playing for fun. This person responded and said, actually, no, he shouldn't. It's just like chasing a high. Unfortunately, going to casinos are the same as feeding addictive behaviors. The same way he doesn't take prescription pills when he's in pain. It's actually quite a bit different. He has to stay absent from all addictive activities. Wait. Oh, I have to stay? You're telling me what I have to do with my recovery now? Well, I've been sober for 29 years. I think I know what I'm doing with my recovery now. And if I'm going to ask somebody, I'm not going to ask you and ask my sponsor or somebody that I know in sobriety that's been sober a lot longer than me, okay? So that's what we call taking somebody's inventory. And then the same way he doesn't take prescription pills when he's in pain, he has to stay absent from all addictive activities. I don't make the rules. Who does make the rules? There's no rules. There's no rules to a 12-step program. There's suggestions. You can follow them or you don't have to follow them. Nobody's forcing you to. There's no rules. The fact that he said he takes a certain amount, and if he loses that amount, then he leaves, knowing in all reality he's got plenty more money he could keep on spending, means he's just doing fine with gambling. Exactly. Somebody said, yes, but once he wins, he chases the high. That's the issue. If he sets a designated... You are really concerned about my casino going, aren't you, girl? Oh my God, I better never go again. I might relapse tomorrow after 29 years. Yes, but once he wins the chase is the high, that's the issue. If he sets a designated time for himself, that should be his threshold. Just because he doesn't want to waste more money doesn't mean he's not chasing his losses and betting his earnings. Gambling is just as addicting as drugs are, especially for someone in recovery. I believe that it can be, just like I believe that exercise can be, okay? But we don't talk about that, right? We don't talk about people that get sober and go to the gym for 14 hours a day or 7 days a week or any fitness championships or start eating supplements left and right. We don't talk about that, right? You know, we want to talk about going to the casino or sex or whatever because we have 12-step programs for that. Well, there's 12-step programs for people that have gambling addictions because that's very real for them. But not every addict or alcoholic is cross-addicted. Not every alcoholic or addict is going to have a problem with going to casino. Just like not every alcoholic is going to have a problem with heroin, okay? Or not every alcoholic is going to have a problem with nicotine or caffeine. There are going to be those alcoholics and addicts that can have a cigarette or two every once in a while or a cup of coffee or two, and they're not going to be caffeine addicts or whatever. But at the end of the day, it really goes back to the person that's in recovery and choices that they have to make for themselves. So it's interesting conversation on here. Somebody said, you're stereotyping addicts. Just because they have one addiction doesn't mean they're addicted to everything. He hasn't gone to the casino in almost a year. I've been twice in the last year. I went with Valerie at the very end of September 24th, and the last time I went was March or April. Not that it matters. If I want to go every week, I'll go every week. I don't need to justify that to anyone, but I appreciate what you're saying here. Somebody said, he hasn't gone to the casino in almost a year, and he has spoken many times how financially responsible he is and in the work he did to achieve that. I've even talked about sitting next to people that are like, I spent my whole paycheck, and I say that that's ridiculous. Somebody responded to this person and said, you saying what his addiction is chasing is actually disgusting. This person responded and said, if he's following the steps program, that's what it'll tell you. There's not a step out there that will tell you that you not go to the casino. If you're speaking, this is why I'm talking about this in a video. There is nowhere in the basic text, any pamphlet, or any 12-step meeting of the ones that I go to that will say to you that you cannot go to a casino. I can tell you right now that every single one of my sponsors has said, if you want to go, I'll go with you. My 2 that just passed away and my current sponsor. She's like, I love to go to the casino. Do you want to go? This is bullshit, what you're saying. I'm just going to tell you this right now, okay? This is dangerous rhetoric for people out there. And this is why, I think people don't want to get sober, because they think if I don't get sober, I can't do anything with my life. There's a lot of things that I have to be very careful with. And yes, casino is one of them. And that's why I talk to people in my life about it, right? And I check with my sponsor and things like that. And I say to my husband, do you care if I go? If my husband thought that I had a problem, trust me, he would say, you're not going to the casino. This is a problem. We need to bring this up in marriage counseling. I don't know that if all of a sudden this person that's never watched my videos before all of a sudden wants to start commenting on videos. This is always very suspect to me when people do this. If he's following the steps program, what steps program? That doesn't even make sense what you're saying there. That's what it'll tell you. That's absolutely incorrect. There's nowhere in the steps that it'll tell you the 12 steps, the basic text of any program other than Gambling Anonymous that will tell you that, okay? And Gambling Anonymous won't even tell you that you can't go to a casino. It's a suggestion. That's all I'm saying. It's the rules of recovery. Y'all are really trying to off me and I'm just the messenger. Off you. Nobody's trying to off you. They're responding to your comment. You left a comment on a public video. You chose to do that. What's the rules of whose recovery? Girl, that's not a rule of recovery. I don't know where you got that from, but that's 100% inaccurate. That is dangerous rhetoric for people that are sober. Somebody said, then they say again, then something happens or he falls off the wagon, who's to blame? I'm to blame if that happens. I'm 100% to blame. That's my responsibility. Nobody else's. I can't get somebody sober and I can't get somebody drunk, and neither can somebody else with me. I'm 100% responsible for my own recovery. If you don't understand how addiction works, you shouldn't criticize others that do. But you're doing it on here. You're criticizing me. You don't understand how addiction works or recovery. Gambling is very detrimental to the brain and chemical imbalances. It's the same rush we get from drugs. It can be, but not for everybody. I don't know why y'all mad about the truth. I'm advising against it because I care. You didn't actually advise against it. You said I shouldn't. I couldn't do it. Up here, your comment was, he has to stay abstinent from all addictive activities. Actually, our basic text tells us that you can go to bars and things like that if there's a reason for you to be there. If you have a reason to be there, that you can do those things. I don't know what 12-step program you're going to, and I don't know who's teaching you, but this is inaccurate. I'm just going to tell you right now. Gambling is very detrimental to the brain and chemical imbalances. It's the same rush we get from drugs. I don't know why y'all mad about the truth. I'm advising against it because I care. Y'all rather enable off, biased, and look at the bigger picture. You're not responsible for my sobriety. I appreciate it. This camera's going to stop in just a second. Hold on, the battery's about to die. Hold on. Okay, I replaced the battery and I'm back in my favorite neighbors. Hey! We're walking down and now my neighbor's across the street. Are you watering your plants?
No.
Just look at those pretty flowers.
Well, I'm planting something.
Oh, it's so late to be planting something. It's 7:30.
I know.
So, okay, let's go on here and read this. So you're talking about if I fall off the wagon and things like that, then who's to blame for it? Okay, the people getting so heated in the replies to you is, somebody responds to this, is disturbing. I 100% hear what you're saying. I also believe discipline should be followed in that circumstance. But I also think gambling is such an extremely poor way to play with your money. Literally, well, that's your opinion. I can tell you about 100 ways that I think are really poor ways to play with money that people do it. But that's their life and they have to live it, you know? Literally throwing it in the garbage to partake in a system that serves you no good at the end of the day, recovering addict or not. Well, it's how it's something that I enjoy doing, you know? Some people enjoy doing this. Some people enjoy doing that with their money. Some people enjoy doing gardening with their money. I could tell you that I think that's a complete waste of money. I don't think that, but I think how she spends her money is her business. I get asked a lot on videos, like when I do videos about addiction and recovery, especially on my Peterson's channel, I get asked a lot, like, if you really care about somebody that's in addiction and you're worried about them and their behaviors, right? Because you're under the guise, this is all under the guise of like, I really care about Peter. Because this is how it'll get turned, okay? Is I cared about Peter, I showed that I cared about Peter, and then Peter came at me in a video. This is how it'll get turned, okay? So people ask me all the time, like, or they'll DM me or email me, like, when you really care about somebody, if you really are concerned about their addiction or their recovery, like, how do you deal with it? Like, how do you approach them? What do you say? And I've made multiple videos about that. What you don't do is put them on blast, okay, in a public comment section about their behaviors. I've said that. I cannot stand those TikTok videos of, like, addicts in the wild. I've said that a lot. What you could do is, if you really have that many concerns about me because you care about me so much, is that you could DM me or you could email me privately and say, Peter, you're wanting to go to the casino once every 3 months is really concerning to me as an addict. I don't think that you should go to the casino. I'm really worried about your well-being. I'm really worried that this might be a relapse trigger for you, and I just want you to know that I care about you, and I wanted to bring this to your attention that what I'm seeing is concerning to me. You could actually have even left it that way if you didn't want to email me. You could, if you wanted to put it in a public place, you could have worded it that way. You could have worded it that, like, hey Peter, like, I watched you for a long time, I really care about you. You're going to the casino really concerns me. Because I'm worried about your well-being as an addict in recovery. What you've turned into is the teacher, okay? And what is very obvious to me is that you don't know what you're talking about. So it's not coming from a place of concern, because if it was, that would be what you led with. You didn't lead with that. You defended yourself with that. But anyway, I appreciate your comment, and it is what it is. I'm going to go to the casino when I want to go to the casino, and I'm going to ask my sponsor if she thinks I have a problem, and she'll probably ask me if she can go with me. So, you know, it is what it is. I've been sober for 29 years. I'm doing pretty good. You know, when I want you guys to be worried about it, or if I'm displaying behaviors, please let me know in that, okay? I don't think that... I would even be worried about a gambling addict that was only going 3 times a year at all and staying for 4 hours and leaving with money in their pocket. I would not. I would be like, that's success for a gambling addict, of which I'm not. So I don't identify as one. The other comments that I want to update are, hey, how are you? You just walked by the other way. I was shouting at you. The other comments are all from the same person, and I don't know if this person was like really going through it last night or something, but they commented a lot, okay? So the first comment, and since I got a couple DMs about this, I thought, I'm just going to address this on video, and then I probably won't in the future, just so you know. Peter, I've heard you talk about marriage counseling for years now. Is this something you plan on continuing throughout your entire marriage? I hope it's helpful for your relationship. I thought it was a very nice comment. So I wanted to address this. Okay, Alex and I feel like this is something I feel like I have talked about in multiple videos, is that Alex and I talk about marriage counseling and compare it to like vocal coaching. I feel like I just said this in a video not too long ago. And this person said that later in a comment, they said they've watched my videos for 8 years. So this is something that I've talked about in a lot of videos. I appreciate, I mean, you worded this very nicely, so thank you for the nice comment. Alex and I compare it to vocal coaching. You know, like Mariah Carey, a lot of famous singers have vocal coaches. When we went and saw Stevie Nicks, I mean, she brought out her vocal coach that she works with every single day, that she's had for like 30 years, right? I think it was since 1990 or something like that. So 34 years he's been her vocal coach to help her be the best singer that she can possibly be. That's very much how we look at marriage counseling. I think it's an interesting point of view that you say that you hope it helps, because I've talked, and so is my husband, in multiple videos. I mean, if you've watched me for 8 years, I mean, how many couples videos have Alex and I did? How many times have I talked about marriage counseling on my vlog, my drama channel, and on my videos? How helpful it is. So that was kind of a weird comment to me, that was left, that it's helpful. I don't know how long we'll go. We'll go till we don't feel like we need to go anymore. It's probably until we'll go. I think it's extremely useful, you know? Most weeks we don't really have a whole lot to talk about, and so we'll talk about ways to take where we're at right now and go to the next level. How do you make it even better than you're at? I think a really dangerous place is when we started marriage counseling, we started it because we were having a lot of problems and we were headed for divorce. We're not there today. Our marriage is fantastic today. But it has its grooves. I mean, today it's fantastic. Tomorrow it might not be fantastic, you know? And that's where marriage counseling does help. It like even outs the grooves and things like that. I think when you get to a point in your marriage where you think there's no room for improvement, it's dangerous. I want to be with my husband for the rest of my life. I want it to be intimate with my husband for the rest of my life. I want to continue to look at him and desire him and want him to feel the same way for me. I want us to make decisions together and for us to respect each other and to communicate that to each other and to love each other for, the rest of our lives. And that's where we're at today by the work that we've done. We might have to continue to do that work through the years. I've met a lot of people that I go out to dinner, I don't love how they speak to each other as couples, and and they're not intimate with each other. They don't even hold hands with each other anymore. And I don't want that for my husband and I. And he doesn't want that for us either. So we'll continue to go until we don't feel like we need to go anymore, or our therapist retires, one or the other. So that was the first comment. Then the second comment was, hi, Peter. One last comment here. Actually, you left a couple more comments. One last comment here. You should really thank your mother every day for giving you that condo. And she's dead. My mom's, thanks, Mom. She would laugh at that, by the way. My mom would think that was hilarious. I'm sure you made a significant dent in that mortgage. You're editing the hell out of this comment, because when I read that comment the first time, that's not what it said. Of course, you and Alex contributed as well, but my finances so well. Girl, you were here for all of it, weren't you? You were there for all of it. Of course, you and Alex contributed as well, but without your mother's help, where would you be house-wise? I think this is such a weird question. It's frustrating for me because it reminds me of my brother. Oh, this is what it's about. It's about your brother. Well, I'm sorry about your situation with your brother. That's not me. I'm not your brother, okay? My name's Peter Monn. He was given a free house, and yet he complains about having to spend money on paint or replacing windows while I'm here paying $2,000 a month in rent and rolling my eyes. Girl, I don't know what to tell you, but I'll tell you what right now. The reason that we have stayed in this house is because I have an emotional attachment to this house, okay? So when we decided that we were going to stay here, actually when I read this comment to Caroline today, I was like, what do you think about this comment? She's like, most people that I know don't stay in their parents' house, they sell it, and they split it between 3 siblings, and it becomes a huge fight because they sell it, and she said to me, she goes, do people know that, like, most people that we know, their parents' houses are like between like $200,000 and $1 million, and they split it like between 2 or 3 siblings, or they get it all themselves. They sell it, like, you get $1 million in cash, right? They don't want the house. They don't want to move in their parents' house. She's like, do they realize that your condo is like 1,200 square feet? Like, you wouldn't get that for it, right? So we moved in here. My mom actually owed quite a bit of money on the condo when I moved in here. I paid off the mortgage originally, and then we used that as to get a cash mortgage to pay off. So I actually have put more money in this condo originally when I first paid it off, and afterwards again, than my mom ever put into this condo. I put more money in this condo. So house-wise, I had an apartment. My mom passed away. I was living in an apartment that actually the rent for that apartment was more than the mortgage on this house was. And I kept that apartment until the lease was up in October. So my mom passed away in May. So in May to October, I went back and forth between this condo and the apartment. If my mom wasn't here house-wise, I wasn't living in my mom's basement before she passed away. I was living in an apartment paying my own bills, I guess Alex and I probably would have bought another house, or I guess we probably would be living in an apartment. I mean, if it was my husband, he'd be like, we'd be in another city, okay? Or we'd be downtown, because my husband wants to live downtown. So that's probably where we would be. But this is also centrally located, and the upkeep is not expensive. Now that we've paid it off, it's just the HOA fees. Any condo that we're going to move into is going to have HOA fees. Downtown, actually, the HOA fees are pretty exorbitant. And I don't feel like I really need to defend that, but I don't know where, this is where, like, the intrusiveness of feeling like I share a lot about, hey, how are you? I haven't seen you at the pool yet. I've been up there quite a bit. This is what I love right here. See this, okay? This is why I don't want to move from here. We've talked a lot about it through the years, okay? The cash that we're going to get for the condo is not going to be as much as what it means. This condo means to me and now means to Alex and I, right? So it really has nothing to do with that. I think, first of all, this to insinuate that if my mother hadn't passed away, like, where would I be living? I was living in an apartment. I was living in a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment on my own. My ex and I had broken up. I was doing just fine. I would be doing just fine now. I'm actually making a lot more money now than I was making then, so trust me, I would be just fine. But I appreciate you looking out for me again and being worried about where would I be house-wise. And I will say this, I'm really sorry that you're so frustrated on your brother that for whatever reason, what you see in him, you see in me. It's not a similar situation. My mother has been gone for over 16 years, okay? First of all. Second of all, she didn't just hand me this house. But I do know quite a bit of people. When I say this, I'm sure somebody will say something about inheritance tax. I don't know about that, okay? But I do know a lot of people in my life, you know, including my cousin Caroline. I mean, both of her parents have passed away. Who do you think got the money for for my aunt and uncle's condo? Which I can tell you was like triple the amount of this. So who do you think got the money for that? Caroline got the money for that. Is there something bad about that? Like, I mean, isn't that what parents want, for their kids to have their money when they leave? Am I supposed to feel bad about that? That my mom, I mean, I am very thankful that my mom left me a condo, okay? But I had to pay a lot of money to continue to stay to live here. I was the one that paid off this condo. She didn't have a lot of money in this condo when she passed away. And the HOA fees when my mom passed away were $115. They're now $475. I don't know that my mom would still be staying here if it was $475. So I feel like the comment is a little rude, if you want to know the truth. And it's not only that, but it's that you left multiple comments on my video. So people responded to this and they said, Kayla said, I'm sure he's very thankful to her. He talks about her often. He loves his mom to pieces. Somebody said, Kayla said, are you new to the vlogs? Just curious. And she responded, I would definitely be thankful too. Who wouldn't want a free home? It wasn't free. I don't know where you get that idea of that, or where you have the paperwork of that, or I guess you were the loan officer on it and you work for the bank that I paid it off to. I don't know how you even know that. And this is the other thing, if you've watched me for 8 years, I've talked about this a lot in videos, the condition of this house and how we moved into this house. It's clear he loves his mom a lot. Thank you for acknowledging that. Somebody said, nope, she said, no, actually I've been watching him since 2008. It's been great seeing the journey so far. It's weird to me that these are the comments that you leave, but they're like, I don't know if you don't hear your tone. And this is why to be honest with you, you've left other comments in the past, but so many people messaged me. I mean, it was like, I think about your comments, it was like 4 or 5 people messaged me. And it was like, this person's really rude. Like, you should just block them, okay? Okay, so what? Do I block you? Because you've left other comments where I'm like, the tone is off. Like, I don't know. I don't know if you just don't know how to respond to people, but like, you're leaving lengthy comments. Like, should I not respond to it at all? Okay. Now I'm in my head, like, I shouldn't even post this video. Because then people are going to say, like, oh, Peter's like getting all blah, 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 whatever. I don't have a right to defend myself about comments that people are putting inaccuracies out there. Then somebody reads this and they go, oh, Peter was given a free house by his mom. And then that's how that goes on, right? Like, people used to leave comments and say, Peter's a trust fund kid. His dad gives him a bunch of money, when there's no accuracy to that whatsoever. If my mom was sitting right next to me, she would laugh at this comment. She'd say, I wish I had enough money to give Peter a free house. I would have bought him one when I was alive. I didn't have that kind of money. I didn't have the money to pay off my own house. That's why Peter had to do it. And this person went on, you must have changed your comment, because your comment said all kinds of stuff about that's why we haven't bought a house in Florida, because we don't know what it's like to be a first-time homeowner and getting a mortgage. What you think, like, okay, this house is not in my mom's name. I had to go get a mortgage on this house. I had to get a loan officer. I had to do all this stuff as if I was buying the house. My husband's name is on the house. We had to go through all the same things that you would have to go through if you had to, we'd have our credit checked and all that kind of stuff. I mean, the same things that you have to do to buy a house, we went through to have the title of our house or name put on this house. I think maybe you don't understand how houses work or something. So, somebody said, talking about the brother situation, I understand that home ownership comes with its challenges. However, the point I was trying to make is that the cost of maintaining a home, such as buying paint or new windows, are relatively... What windows and paint am I buying for my house? Honey, this is about your family, okay? You need to take it to your family and not to me. And my neighbor just texted me if I want to go swimming. Somebody said, I understand where you're coming from, but you're barking up the wrong tree of this right now. And this person responded to them and said, I get your perspective, but I think this isn't the right approach at the moment. I guess coming from me is. Peter mentions how much time and effort it took for him and Alex to pay off the condo, so it sounds like they took overpayments and didn't come into some free home. Not to mention, just because your home is paid off, your taxes and insurance for said home do not disappear. They also have HOA fees. Thank you for acknowledging that. I just paid property taxes and homeowner's insurance on this condo. I guess my mom gives that. She's from the grave, comes down, whoo, here's your money. Is that windows and paint? I feel sorry for your condition, okay? But I'm going to tell you right now, we have something that we say in recovery, which is restraint of pen and tongue. And that's like, maybe you shouldn't post things or say things to people if you're not like, I don't know what this is about. And I'm trying to be really sympathetic and empathetic towards you right now. I'm going to tell you right now, there are people that would read this straight up and be like, what? Like they would say nasty things. I'm trying to be empathetic towards you. Your comments are coming across as not very nice. I'm just going to be honest with you. Okay. Oh, there's another comment. Hey Peter, I'm coming back to this video even though it's almost 1 a.m. and I can't sleep. I'm typing this on my phone, so forgive any typos. It seems like the reason you and Alex haven't bought a house in Florida is because it would be the first... I just talked about why we haven't bought a house in Florida. I literally just talked about it on this video that you have now watched multiple times and are leaving multiple comments. I just said it. It's extremely expensive. I just said that in the video yesterday, and that we have a 5-year plan. I've said that in multiple videos. For somebody that proclaims that they watch my videos all the time. You must realize how expensive and time-consuming it can be inheriting a home, which may or may not have been fully paid off for you when it was not. This is just ridiculous to me. I'm genuinely happy for you both, but it's... Are you, though? This doesn't come... I'm just going to be honest with you. This doesn't come across to me as genuine happiness for somebody. Like, you're really questioning, like, and I share a lot on video. I've shared a lot tonight on video. This comes across as being like, I'm genuinely happy for you both, but it's important to acknowledge that this isn't the same as paying off a mortgage and owning a home outright by the time you're 50, as that's not the case here. It's 100% the case. I owned the home outright because when my mother passed away, she had outstanding mortgage on the house, which I paid off. I then owned the condo outright, okay? We then got another mortgage on the condo, which I explained in my video the other day, and we completely paid that mortgage off. We've actually paid 2 mortgages off on this condo and have no mortgage today, okay? So it's actually more than just putting second mortgages on homes, which is more difficult for most people. That anybody that will tell you that they have a second mortgage on a house will tell you it's even more difficult to do that, okay? So I don't really know what your beef is with me. I don't really know what your issue is with me, but you obviously have one, okay? And there's no genuine happiness to be found in this comment. I won't be... There's more comments. Hold on a second. I forgot about these comments up here. Peter, I've noticed you're quite strict about how people achieve sobriety from alcohol and drugs, and it seems you strongly believe that working as streps is the best and most reliable path. Although I know that this is like somebody out there that just really does not like me and was really having a good time last night. So let's just engage in it for tonight, and then I won't be in the future. I know that's not the approach for everyone. However, seeing you discuss gambling and smoking cigarettes concerns me that you may have traded one addiction for one or 2 others over the years. I genuinely have. Have you ever been to a 12-step meeting before and seen people vaping and smoking? I don't smoke anywhere near like I did back in the day. Anywhere near that. And I've gone to the casino 3 times. I don't even know why I'm even defending this on here. First of all, okay, for somebody that's watched my videos for 8 years, and this is what pisses me off, okay, is when people want to say this stuff. I've noticed you're quite strict about how people achieve sobriety. Am I? I think in almost every video that I ever address sobriety, this is where I am responding to this, because I want this video to exist today. Okay, so that people can go timestamp this about saying this. How many addiction videos have I made? How many recovery videos? How many sobriety videos have I made? And in almost every single one of them I say, I work a 12-step program. That's how I stay sober. There are many ways to get sober, and I respect all of those ways. I have said that in multiple videos. Do not twist my words. And you want to sit here and talk about genuine happiness and how much you care for me? That is like... back in the day when people would talk about compliment sandwiches, okay? Let me throw in a really shitty comment to you and slice it between, I want to give you genuine happiness, I really care about you, this is coming from a loving place. Well, I don't feel like this is. I don't know what was going on with you last night, because you've left comments on my videos before, but this is like a lot. I mean, you literally left like 5, I mean, let me just, I don't know if you can see it. Here, I'll turn it down. I don't know if y'all can see it, but like, these are paragraph comments, you guys. This is one of the comments. Here's another and these are paragraph comments that you're writing at 3 o'clock in the morning. You know, I'm going to say this, I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't know what's going on with you or other people, whatever. I share my story of sobriety to inspire other people, okay? What's interesting to me is when I talk about my husband and I being together 16 years and people want to dog that. People want to find fault in that. Oh, they're going to get divorced. Alex is getting ready to leave them. Why would you not look at us as an inspiring couple that's made it through some really shitty times? I talk about the shitty times. It's not like I'm trying to hide that. I talk about it. I talked about how recovery isn't easy. My husband and I are still together after 16 years, okay? That's testament to hard work in a relationship. There's always those people out there that want to dog that. I get on a video and I talk about how much I have worked really, really hard to save money and pay off debt. And that's not good enough. Oh, you were given that house, right? I know people that were given houses. I literally know people that were given $1 million houses. That is not the case, okay? I can tell you that when my mother passed away, this condo appraised for $116,000. Not a lot of money, okay? Not a lot of money. That's what this house appraised for when she passed away. Thanks, Mom. She knows I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for everything I've been given in my life. But I get on here and I share financial suggestions of things that I've learned from. I'm very transparent about what I've gone through in my life and how I've really struggled and things that have really helped me. And then I'm criticized for it. I share my recovery story because I've been sober for 29 years, and I hope that there's one person out there, because there were people that came before me that I was inspired by, and I hope to only inspire somebody else with my story, that if I can do it, you can do it too. And people, that's not good enough for people. Okay? When there's people all over the internet that aren't doing anything for their sobriety, and that's how it works for them, so more power to them. But you want to come over here, and I've gone to the casino 3 times, and smoke a cigarette every once in a blue moon, and you want to criticize that? And you got issues with my recovery, but you want to hide this behind the guise of I care about you, and then I address it in a video, and then it's Peter comes for his followers. So what do? This is putting me between a rock and a hard place. Either I address it or I don't address it. So this is where we'll be going in the future, okay? In first grade, we were taught how to ask teacher questions in an appropriate way. Teacher, can I go to the bathroom, please? Okay? That's how we were asked. I kind of have like a 3-strike you're out rule on my videos, and that I kind of watch people a little bit when the comments like, that's kind of like a little bit rude, and I kind of watch them over a period of time. It's not always 3 times. It can, sometimes I've given people 9, 10, 20 chances, okay? But I'm just going to tell you one day, if I wake up and there's a comment, and on that day is a day that, like, I am, and I'm every day that I wake up real proud of my sobriety, and somebody wants to say some stuff to me about this, that's going to be the day that you're probably going to get blocked. I don't really, to be honest with you, know why I give people so many chances. I really don't. It's probably one of my character defects. Because I can tell you right now, I would not let somebody in my personal life speak to me this way to my face at all. If somebody said to me in my personal life, this is the reality of it, okay? If somebody said in my personal life, Peter, you need to be really thankful the fact that your mother gave you that house, and stop complaining about having to do, I'd say, first of all, okay, you need to zip it right there, okay? You don't know anything about my life. You don't know anything about my finances. You know anything about my mother. You know anything about what she gave me, how that will was written. You don't know anything about that. So stop right there. Stop assuming that you know something about my life, okay? I don't do that in my drama videos. I don't assume things about people, okay? I do with what's put out there. If somebody in my personal life started saying things to me, if they weren't in recovery, about me going to the casino 3 times in a year, I wouldn't even have the conversation I had today in a video. What I would say to them is, you're taking my inventory, I'll take it up with my sponsor. Thank you, I appreciate your concern. That's what I would say. So, on that note, thank you, I will take it up with my sponsor, I appreciate your concern. We don't need to have conversations over here about my sobriety, you know? We really don't need to be having conversations about anybody's sobriety in public places. It's really nobody else's business. This is one of the reasons why addicts and alcoholics do relapse, okay? Because they get in their head, because people are talking about them at early recovery, family members, friends, and things like that are talking about them and whatever, and they get in their head. And like I said, nobody can get me sober and nobody can get me drunk. My sobriety is my responsibility. But people get in their head and they start thinking, they're like, okay, well, what if it is this, or what if it is that, and blah, 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 and they start questioning themselves. That's so dangerous. That is so dangerous, and not lifting up addicts and alcoholics. You know? I mean, it really, really is. I mean, if you're really that concerned with me, you'd say, have you talked to your sponsor about it, going to a casino? Because this is concerning to me. Did you ask your sponsor? Have you brought it up in a meeting? Did you take a sober person with you if that was really that concerning with you? Those are the questions you ask sober people. You don't condemn them, right? You don't condemn them and just throw 12-step knowledge that you don't know about and say this is the rules of recovery. There are no, anybody in a 12-step program would laugh at you. There are no rules of recovery. That's very, very dangerous talk to say. I've been doing this for 29 years. I know what I'm talking about. It's very dangerous. So, I got enough DMs about this. I mean, in total, about all the DMs, I probably less than 10. It was like 3 or 4 about the recovery thing, 3 or 4 about the other thing. And so I thought, you know what? People were saying, like, I'm really sorry you got those comments. Peter, I'm really sorry that you have to address these things or you get these comments in your videos. And I read enough comments in my videos. And the thing is always that if I read really nice comments, people are always like, oh, like, you know, like, oh, thank you so much. I love that you read my comment. And that makes me so happy. But if I ever address a comment that I take a certain way, then people get all bent out of shape about it. I don't love spending my time, especially on the vlog or any of my channels, if you want to know the truth, addressing negativity or addressing, I think, rude comments or not well thought through comments, okay, that are sandwiched between, I love you so much, I've watched you for a long time, I only really care about you. If that's how you speak about people that you care about, I think you maybe need to check your language. Can I say that on my own vlog? This is my vlog. Can I say that? I've said this in enough videos, I'm not going to say it again. If you leave a comment on my video, I have the right to address it. Moving forward, I don't plan to, okay? I can tell you that moving forward, my plan is to just be done with it. Just block and move on. That's my plan going forward. Not the first time somebody leaves a comment, because a lot of people leave questioning comments. Don't ever feel like you can't leave a questioning comment. But maybe ask yourself when you read the comment back, how would I feel if I was asked this way? You know? You don't have to say, I love you, Peter, can I ask? You don't have to, like, do it that way. But it's just like, can I ask you a question? I don't have to tell somebody how much I love them and I care about them to say to them, hey, I'm concerned about your behavior. You know? This is a little problematic to me. And since I'm concerned about it, I just want to bring it to your attention of what I've heard you talk about in your video. Maybe you should talk to a support person about it. Maybe you should talk to Tanya. I talk about enough of my videos about Tanya. Everybody knows Tanya's sober. Anybody on my videos could say, hey, I'm concerned about you. Go talk to Tanya. Go talk to your sponsor. Talk to Alex. Bring it up in therapy. I didn't hear you say any of those things. So when you sandwich it between this, I love you, blah, 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 I feel like that's an excuse to hide your real true intent, okay? But if I ever get in a video and I address it, then 4 more videos are made about me addressing my followers and people go crazy and want to talk about it. So I just won't be addressing it anymore, okay? So tonight you got me to engage. In the future, that won't be the case. In the future, you just won't be leaving comments on my videos anymore. We cool? Okay, so anyway, I'm going to get off here now because my, she said, are you going to go to the pool tonight? I'm going to text her back. Are you? Don't you hate when people ask questions with a question? Let's go back here and let's find one to leave this all on. Let's find one really, really nice comment, okay? Amy was the last comment. Oh, she's still the last comment, standing ovation. Elise said, hello, Peter. Oh, Monique said, you can come to my pool, Peter. Hey, Monique! Who's calling me?
Night,
Are you going to bed?
No.
Hey, do you watch Big Brother?
Oh, hell no.
Oh, she said, oh, hell no. All right, have a good night. Mr. Boo Radley will be out to see you tomorrow. Monique, me and my neighbor, we are coming over to your pool. Come and knock on my door. Take a step that is new. Anyway, I love you guys so much. Thank you for listening to all that crap and BS tonight. I love you so much. I already know this is going to, woo, woo, hot potatoes, that comment section. People are going to have things to say about it. Them threads, the videos, all going to be going crazy. Peace and love to you, each and of you. And yeah, let's head into tomorrow with some peace and love and serenity in our hearts. I love you guys so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya!